They don't campaign, they don't debate, and you've never voted for them. But while the country argues over presidents, they write the playbook. Heritage Foundation, Federalist Society, ALEC. They are not elected, they are not accountable, and they are not stoppable. While we scroll, they plan. While we vote, they draft. While we sleep, they script the next chapter. This isn't politics. This is a blueprint for takeover, a shadow mandate engineered in plain sight. They call them think tanks. Sounds harmless, right? Just smart people in a room, thinking. But think tanks aren't academic salons. They're ideological weapons factories. And they've existed since power learned to wear a lab coat. After World War II, institutions like RAND and Brookings were born to help the government think smarter. But the mission mutated. Today they don't advise power. They create it. Heritage, Federalist Society, ALEC. They don't propose laws, they write them. And who funds them? Not you, not voters, but billionaires, political dynasties, arms dealers, oil conglomerates. They are the puppet masters, and their marionette, government. You thought elections were your superpower, that if you just voted harder, democracy would work. But even Superman answers to the script, and this script was written long before you stepped into the booth. They don't just offer ideas, they deliver turnkey governments. Policy IKEA. Here's the manual. Just follow the steps and remake America. And that's exactly what's happening. It's called Project 2025. But don't let the name fool you. This isn't the future. It's a hostile upgrade of the past. And it's already underway. 920 pages, written not by lawmakers, but by lawyers, ideologues, and strategists. Their goal? To gut the US government and rebuild it in the image of their funders. The Heritage Foundation, 70-plus right-wing organizations, each with a piece of the plan. Together, they want to purge civil servants who won't swear loyalty strip, decades of job protections, dismantle regulatory oversight, replace science with ideology, inject biblical literalism into federal policy, collapse the wall between church and state. Sound familiar? Stalin purged bureaucrats. Erdogan purged judges. Now Heritage wants to purge America's institutions. This isn't reform, it's an ideological cleanse. That wasn't just an executive order, that was page 1 of the new playbook. They call it a presidential transition plan, but it reads like a regime change manual. And the president they're writing it for, he's already shown he'll follow the script. No public debate, no democratic vote, just binders, blueprints, and a rubber stamp presidency. This isn't checks and balances, this is unchecked obedience. And Project 2025 doesn't just change policies, it rewrites the operating system of American government. Forget merit. Forget neutrality. Forget rule of law. This is the presidency as monarchy. One man at the top. Everyone else disposable. This isn't democracy. It's franchising. Across 50 states. The same bills. The same language. The same hidden authors. Welcome to America's policy factories, where your laws are mass-produced, like fast food. It's called ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. But here's the real definition: a shadow network where corporations write the laws and politicians sign the dotted line. You thought your representative represented you? Think again. Here's how ALEC works. Step 1. Lobbyists draft the bills. Step 2. Lawmakers attend private retreats. Step 3. They copy-paste the bills into state legislatures. And Step 4. Those bills become law, often without a single edit. This isn't federalism, it's policy franchising. It's not grassroots, it's astroturf. Fake origin stories, funded by real billionaires. The language sounds innocent. The intent is not. And while ALEC floods state houses with corporate laws, another factory controls the courts, the Federalist Society. They don't just influence the judiciary, they design it. From law school scholarships to judicial shortlists, they build judges from the ground up. These judges aren't neutral, they're assets, pre-approved, prepped for loyalty, not to the Constitution, but to the cause. And when your laws are written by corporations, and your courts are built to uphold them, you don't have a democracy, you have a vending machine. Voters call it election integrity. It's Orwellian marketing, words that mean the opposite of what they sell. They don't need to sell you on results, they just need to sell you a feeling. So while you fight over slogans, they cash in on silence. You lose services, they gain subsidies. You lose access, they gain assets. You lose autonomy, they gain amnesty. And every policy that chips away at your rights pads a corporate balance sheet. This isn't corruption, it's capitalism without brakes. A system where power isn't voted in, it's invested in. This isn't about policy, it's about profit. And you were never in the business plan. If Project 2025 succeeds, this isn't a second term, it's a second regime. Neutral agencies, eliminated independent courts, stacked checks and balances, unplugged. They don't just want power, they want permanence. Imagine a country where the Department of Justice answers directly to the president. Civil servants are purged for refusing loyalty oaths. Protest is labeled domestic extremism. Blue states lose funding for not complying. Climate science is erased from federal websites. Contraception becomes a moral issue for federal review. All done not with tanks, not with terror, but with task forces and policy memos. And here's the psychological trap. It will feel normal. It will feel patriotic. It will feel inevitable. Because when everything is legal, nothing feels wrong. They didn't storm the gates, they didn't use guns. They didn't need to. They used white papers, printed playbooks, 900 pages of power grabs, dressed up as patriotism. They handed memos to a man who never needed convincing, and he signed. This isn't a movement, it's a machine, programmed by think tanks, fueled by dark money, now fully operational. And while the nation argued over red versus blue, they rewired the system beneath our feet. Not with ballots, not with tanks, with policy. I made this video because too many people ignored the warning. They called it overblown. They laughed it off. They thought Project 2025 was just another proposal, but it's not. It's an operating manual for authoritarianism. And to my fellow military enlisted, remember your oath, not to a man, not to a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. Defend it, because no one else will. Project 25 should have been called what it really is, the road to fascism. It replaces neutrality with loyalty, accountability with obedience, rights with privileges that can be revoked. And here's the part no one wants to admit. It's already too late. Not next year, not after the next election. Now. By the time this plan is fully activated, a video like this may be illegal. This very message could be erased, or labeled extremist content, or buried so deep by the algorithm no one ever finds it. You were warned to fear revolutions with guns, but the most dangerous kind, they come with smiles, with flags, with binders full of policy, no bullets, just bureaucracy, no riots, just regulations. Welcome to the shadow mandate. You didn't vote for it, but now you live in it.